right, peace, and blessings. Haki Ami here, the success scholar, honorable one, Asafo. Man, let me just do this piece real fast. It's a beautiful day. It's about, still a little cold, but I'm down here in Virginia. Get ready to go to this little retreat center. Have a good birthday weekend. But I wanted to do this piece for those that may not know. I'm a success scholar, organizer, thinker, author, speaker, and just continuing to do the real empowering growth educational work uh, that I've been doing. Definitely encouraging people just to get my book and to listen to several of my clips that I've done over the years. From a variety of topics, but I felt the need to address something that is really perplexing to many, and it's actually confusing in terms of our struggle and our consciousness. Uh, so I, for whatever reason, I had to think deeply, about how and why uh, young Pharaoh and Daren Muhammad are supporting Donald Trump. And I watched the video. One brother did an analysis, and he said that, just you got to understand young Pharaoh's background, being a young man that served time in prison, and got some knowledge, of course, and but you just have to understand that he has a long way to go in this world, and the world is unforgiving to those who have been incarcerated, and particularly those with a violent felony conviction. So, with that being said, uh, I have come to the understanding after listening to this brother's video that the only reason that young Pharaoh, just understand, he came out conscious, and I'm young Pharaoh Kemet, and representing consciousness, and the black woman is God, and all this other stuff, up in New York, with the whole House of Consciousness and everybody else, and so now he's totally flipped and gone in, to being a hardcore Trump supporter. Like, how do you go from that? So this one video theorizes that him complaining about his YouTube, not getting paid off of YouTube, for instance, was one of his reasons. And once he got onto the Trump bandwagon and started seeing what videos got him more views and even more donations, he started sort of going hardcore with it, and following these, looking up these conspiracy theories, and just kind of feeling powerlessness, and just not able to be necessarily employable out here in this world. You make that like your hustle, so you go hard with this to try to find your allies. And broke black people, for the most part, that's listening to these conspiracies or whatever, they can't support you, or the conscious movement, they can't finance you. So after the breakup and the beefs with all these different groups that he's called out over the years, it's like he really didn't have nowhere to go. And honestly, the whole Democratic Party plantation, I'll call it a plantation, it can only fit a certain amount of Negroes. They don't need that many Negroes to be, per se, their their Pied Piper, if you will. So with that, understand that some of these people, and I see the correlation with Daren Muhammad, for instance, that, this Negro, how can you go from the Nation of Islam How can you go from the Nation of Islam to pushing Kim Klacik? This woman, she's very, very self-hating, like the epitome of self-hating. She's married to a Caucasian, and she actually, I mean, has all. I mean, she's the epitome of a self-hating woman. So she has a child by this gentleman, and I mean, she was a stripper. I mean, like not someone you would expect a Nation of Islam person to get behind, but when you are desperate for money and you got like a few followers, and these little different types of ideas make you stand out. You're spouting things that you study on YouTube or whatever, and you kind of unrestricted access to the minds of the ignorant people who haven't like read like myself, and who are serious organizers that are actually out there with the people, doing relevant life transformational work. uh, it's sort of understanding where and why these individuals would end up, for instance, uh, in these places, right? So I just wanted to put that out there. Just understand that people are, they think that they're being independent and free, but they still are controlled and manipulated, right? Because there's no way, for instance, even if you have critiques of said Democrats, that you just gonna jump and start waving a damn Confederate flag. Like what's wrong with you Negroes, man? But sometimes poverty and frustration, and trying to eat will cause you to do things that are unconscionable, just to survive. And so that's what this is. This is like the streets on some levels where, they not necessarily enduring. Not, he wasn't like in the streets like that, my understanding, but he feels sort of alienated from, you know, black people, and alienated from the nation. So it's like he doesn't have anywhere to go, but he relies on these few small supporters. They may agree with his philosophy, so there may be some weird looking white Trump supporter that may drop, $100 a month to him. So if you get 5 or 10 of them, each month, you got yourself $1,000 a month. That's enough to do a radio show, and if you have a job, you can do some other things. So some of these people, they relying on these few little contributors each and every month, right? So like with me, I never came on, for instance, and started asking for supporters. But now I'm starting to say, what? Everybody else is not that I'm going to be begging for money, because I got other things going on, but I need to really start addressing some of these people, like, and putting their names in the titles, so that people can actually hear a counter. People can hear some wisdom. People can hear some reality, because these people, they don't read books, they don't read like no real scholars, and they don't go to anything to debate or listen to other people. uh, so their whole mentality is limited. If you're going to talk about somebody or politics, just the reality is, if you say not any party don't do nothing for you, I mean, just make it plain, that yes, this is the reality of black life in America, that neither party represents the interests of black people. But for you to be a Confederate flag waving Negro, and still coming up under the black consciousness umbrella, you out your mind. And ain't nobody, I can't believe that Sarah Suit Seti, you know, I don't know, but I just think sometimes when these folks, they get older, and they realize their time is waning, and they don't have no clout. They just want views. They just want some attention. They just want to stay relevant. So they just get on there and say anything or allow themselves to be used, like Sarah said he allowed himself to be used recently by young Pharaoh to get, a little bit of black clout. But, he's sort of, him and Darren Muhammad, they all right, shoot. Done it. Wait a minute. I think my phone is down here. Let me see. Damn it, this thing need to stop. All right, damn it. Man, this thing is just, let me end this now, y'all. Let me go ahead and end this. Peace out.